To do away with the movement completely, you must get to a political solution and find out, based on the root causes, you come up with a viable political solution. I think then that is the real answer to the present crisis which we are facing in this country.
Okay, I hope we can get something with the Prime Minister calling all the political forces together. And of course, the President has summoned the National Assembly for October 3rd. Brigadier Mohmand, one of the biggest problems that I'm seeing here right now is that there has been a general consensus, from what I've always understood, that the Haqqani network was a concern for the Pakistan government, but not a priority. It's not like the Pakistan military ruled it out. They just said it's not a priority for us right now. But now what the Americans have gone and done, and mixed opinions, mixed statements, as Ikram Sehgal just pointed out, a good cop, bad cop being played in America. The Pakistani political and the Pakistani military establishment, anything they do now, even if it is the right thing to do, will be perceived and will be very damaging to both of them, because they'll say you did it, the people of Pakistan will say you're acting under American pressure.
Actually, Quatrina, that perception is already there, and it has been existing in the public mind right from the Musharraf time. And they do more and do better mantra used to be always there. And targeted operation and joint...
allow me to interrupt you. The Pakistan establishment has resisted the American pressure to act against Haqqani network for more than 2 years now. So we can't really say that the Pakistan army and the Pakistan government have been dancing to the American tune on this very important issue.
Yes, Pakistan army has been taken, as well as the political dispensation, against all the military wings of all the so-called those people who are fighting in Afghanistan, and they have got some sympathizers, or the common tribes which are there on the Durand line, crossing on both sides of the borders. So that should not be taken that probably one is being taken as a friend and another is being taken as an enemy. Actually, in Afghanistan, the southern Afghanistan and the eastern Afghanistan is completely in the control of the Taliban. And Taliban have got many factions, and Haqqani network is one of the faction. And if it has got some element in North Waziristan, so that few elements will not make the American run and to leave Afghanistan. There are more than what the eyes can see in Afghanistan, because the resistance is not only put by the Haqqani network, but as far as going against the Haqqani network by the army in the North Waziristan, of course that is an option. But Pakistan says that it will be according to our time and our resources, once we consider it that they are enough. And third, not under a duress or a dictate, but the way it has been taken and given the hype in the media as well as by their administration and military leadership, probably that is damaging the relation, and that has got a definite, you can say, intention. The intention is to be gauged, and then intention is to isolate Pakistan. Number two, to have lesser of the say in the future government of Afghanistan. And third, what the beating the Americans are getting in Afghanistan, they have been exposed to their own front. So they are putting that blame on somebody so that a face saving is achieved. So if these are their objectives, so naturally Pakistan is becoming escape. And I must say that it is normally the American way, because they ditch the ally once it loses its importance. And third, Kissinger also said it, that our friendship is of course fatal, but our enemy, to be enemy of America is dangerous, but to be friend, that is also fatal. So in both cases, we are in that not cracking situation.
Okay, I'm going to switch gears here. Mr. Sehgal, whenever a crime is committed, one of the things investigating officers look for is motive. That's a very compelling force. Now, let's talk about the U.S. allegation for a minute, that they are saying that the Haqqani network is acting as a veritable arm of the ISI. What motive? Let's just talk hypothetically here. What conceivable motive would the ISI have to sponsor the Haqqani network to attack American interests in Afghanistan? There has to be a motive, and I'm not seeing a motive here.
Actually, I think, frankly speaking, if I were the ISI, I would be a moron to even think about it in today's technological age, where it will be very and then they say that they've had cell phone intercepts, right now with whom? With possible ISI operatives, right? Now, where is the evidence? I could put it, you see, every time this sort of thing comes up, there is this all in conjecture. There's no real this thing. You have to think about. I just want to for a second to think about Kabul. In Kabul, the Haqqanis the Zadran tribe people would stand out.
Right.
All the attacks in Kabul have taken place locally. Local cells which have operated there, and the Zadran tribe is nowhere near that. They are people who do operate, and they also operate with local help, local this thing, etc. How can 16-hour assault took place and then they disappear? Right? They didn't come from the border. They didn't come from.
They were already in place.
They were already in place.
But the real question being, Mr. Sehgal, let's focus on this for a minute. Why would the ISI want to attack American interests?
I would say
as an institution.
I would say.
I mean, if the Americans are going to talk, like General Athar Abbas, the ISPR spokesperson, the military spokesman, he said that every intelligence agency maintains contacts of some level of the kind with all the opposing groups, and other countries do as well. But why would America think that Pakistan is sponsoring the Haqqani network? It's not. I don't see how it suits us.
My own feeling is that this is more of a knee-jerk reaction to the fact that a safe place within Kabul, which is supposed to be their backyard where everything is safe, has been penetrated. Right? This is a knee-jerk reaction. And the other thing is, frankly speaking, that the ISI is a favorite whipping boy. You just saw the Indians coming onto the bank straight away on the ISI, right? Now,
I'm no great fan of the ISI, but come on, let's be serious. This is ridiculous.
The fact of the matter remains that the ISI is our first level of protection, right? And then you come to the ISI even protects the interest of sovereignty, of the national security sovereignty, right?
Right.
If you dismantle the ISI, you're left defenseless. Then your army gets into the first line.
Yeah.
Then the army,
we have the right to have
so the point is,
intelligence agency. Nobody can deny
if you take
that.
the conjecture, you can go to long distance. But I'm going to say something very tongue-in-cheek. I think we need to dismantle the Haqqani network in Washington. Really, I tell you, the army has to seriously think about it. You cannot have there's no time to gamble anymore. The national sovereignty is at stake, right? And, for a lot of time...
Do you seriously think America is going to attack Pakistan?
No.
Boots on the ground?
Not at all. I do not think so. I think
it would be incredibly stupid of them to do that.
I think it would be stupid of them, because what would happen, it would destabilize the whole region.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Americans are stupid. I think whatever they do, they have war gamed their possibilities, right? I think they will like to put Pakistan under pressure. They would like to get. I would be.
Which I think is counterproductive. Actually, I think the American actions have been counterproductive.
Yes, but I think let's go back to their core.
Yeah, we're short on time, and I have to go to Mr. Jhagra as well.
Quickly, I say that the Americans have every right to pursue their core national interests. Every right.
Yeah, so do we.
And we have every right to do that.
Absolutely. And we have our right to pursue our interests.
And if there's a gap between them two, then two friends talk to each other. We do not use, saying a Chinese proverb, use a hammer to take a fly from a friend's forehead.
Very, very good point there, Mr. Jhagra. The tricky part, of course, is that the Pakistan government has been caught on the back foot yet again. And Pakistan is mired in its own crises, with dengue in Punjab, with floods in Sindh, with the economy in shambles. The Pakistani rupee tumbled against the dollar today. What advice is your party going to be giving, and what message would you be giving to the United States right now?
Well, Quatrina, the first thing that we have done is we have advised and we have demanded that the Parliament joint session of the Parliament should be convened, and the Parliament should be given this opportunity to come up with some viable solution to the present crisis. This is the first reaction that we have already sent to the government. So secondly, we, as I said earlier, tomorrow we are having a meeting, a very important meeting of the party senior leadership in Lahore, and that would be actually coming up with a final statement on the present statements of the United States of America. So I think we'll have to wait and see what the party senior leadership decides tomorrow, and what would be the final statement on this.
Okay. I'm running out of time completely. Mr. Sehgal, quick point, because I have to get a statement from Mr. Mohmand too.
I'm going to request Mr. Zafar Iqbal Jhagra that the PML must come out with a stated national security strategy.
Yes,
that is the right. You are a major political party. You have to do it. You cannot just say that we are not in government. You have to take out a national.
You have to do that. That's a suggestion, Mr. Mohmand. Yes, last words briefly. I literally have 45 seconds.
Yes, the Americans have got only one option, and that is a limited one, that they can go against the Haqqani network through the drones or to few boots for a surgical operation in North Waziristan for the safe face-saving purposes. Otherwise, beyond that, any misadventure will be countered, and I suppose that will be catastrophic and destabilization for the region that include India, Pakistan, Iran, and the whole. And for that purpose,
the whole region. Sir, I'm out of time, so I'm sorry, I'll have to cut you off. I have absolutely run out of time, but it was a very crucial subject. I would like to thank my guests, Ikram Sehgal here in the Karachi studio, Mr. Iqbal Zafar Jhagra, who joined us from Peshawar, and Brigadier retired Said Nazir Mohmand, who joined me from Islamabad. I thank you all for having participated in today's program. And ladies and gentlemen, we had earlier told you that we will be providing you a two-part special on the flood coverage. We will bring that special coverage to you tomorrow, because while the Americans may be concerned about the Haqqani network, we are concerned about our own problems and our own people as well. So tune in tomorrow, please, to watch a two-part special today and day after tomorrow and day after tomorrow on the flood situation in Sindh. And meanwhile, my only reaction to this whole situation, the Americans may have made a serious tactical error in going public with these kind of allegations, because nothing unites Pakistanis more than an external perceived threat, particularly from the United States. Quatrina Hossain saying Khuda Hafiz from Karachi.